I am gay. Are you gay? And if not, would you like to try to be gay?
My God, those Coco Melon videos are really getting out of hand, if you ask me. It's time to homeschool your kids, people, you know. I don't want them seeing that filth in the public kindergartens up and down the land. Homeschool your kids, buy a few acres of land out in the countryside and, you know, plough and stuff. Anyway, I'm kidding, of course. I do think, though, sometimes if I do a bit more material like that, you know, maybe Joe Rogan will see it and he'll have to invite me to the comedy mothership to get up on stage in front of all of those massive geeks who come from far and wide to watch their comedy gods bash the gays and the trans. Saying all of the unsayable stuff. Am I right? Anyway, what's today's video about? Today's video is about this fine young lady, Miss Roxanne Tickle, who has documented her struggle, her Kampf against the Australian Reichstag over the last 3 years, after she was discriminated against by an app that was for only ladies, only for women, and they wouldn't allow her on for some reason.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Case and the unlawful and discriminatory exclusion from the Giggle app has stolen the last 3 years of my life.
Well, I hope you're all very proud of yourselves, Australia!
Kookaburra gay, your life must be.
I hope you're all satisfied that bigotry is so rampant in Australasia that this poor little Miss Tickle here was unable to live her best life for 3 years because she was denied access to the Giggle app. And for those of you who don't know, Giggle is an app which is designed to give women a safe online space in which they can support each other in various areas such as finding roommates, freelancing, emotional support, and activism. See what you've done, Oceania? Actually, I should just say Australia. I don't want to drag, you know, Papua New Guinea into all of this. They've got their own problems, and to be fair to them, they're minding their own business over in Papua New Guinea, aren't they? Dancing around in their loincloths, spitting poison darts at monkeys, you know, the way God intended. The point is, back to you, Australia, this is a you problem, okay? For 3 years, poor Miss Roxanne Tickle has been unable to find roommates. You know, she's had to resort to screaming at random passers-by if they want to live with her. She's freelancing. She's been trying to lance at people all over the street. No one wants to go lancing. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, no one's supporting her emotions and no activism. She hasn't been able to do any activism for the last 3 years.
I've been targeted by hateful and online commentary and degrading merchandise designed to ridicule and mock me.
Merchandise? Who's designing merchandise to ridicule Miss Tickle? I don't, surely she doesn't think Mr. Tickle is, from the Mr. Men. That's not Roger Hargreaves died over 30 years ago.
There is so much hate and bile cast on trans and gender diverse people simply because of who we are. Sometimes it's difficult to remember that not all people are like that.
You know, it's not all people, it's just all Australians, if you can count them as people. You know what, Miss Tickle, I think you'd be better off seeking out the nomadic tribes of the deepest, darkest jungles of Papua New Guinea. They may try to spit roast you. And not in a good way.
I am gay.
When I walked into the courtroom for the hearing in April, I felt safe because I was treated with courtesy and respect and allowed to tell my story. I'm pleased by the outcome of my case, and I hope it is healing for trans and gender diverse people.
Sorry, just had a bit of a moment there.
The ruling shows that all women are protected from discrimination. I brought my case to show trans people that you can be brave and that you can stand up for yourself. But a small group of people have taken it upon themselves to declare that I am not who I know I am, and they've set about making my life miserable. I know that I can now get on with the rest of my life, have coffee down the road with my friends, play hockey with my hockey team, and now put all of this horribleness behind me. Thank you.
Well, thank God for that. The horribleness is behind us, and we can get back to all of the loveliness. Okay, so Roxanne Tickle, everybody. That was great. Round of applause for her. So we've heard from Tickle. It's now time to hear from Giggle. Tickle versus Giggle. We're going to hear from the Ice Queen Super Girl Boss, CEO, owner of the Giggle app. We're going to hear the other side, the dark side of this story. We've heard from the victim. Let's listen to the evil woman who owns Giggle.
While Roxy Tickle didn't take questions, Sal Grover did in this exclusive sit-down with a current affair. Sal Grover, you've just been found guilty of indirect discrimination against a woman. How do you feel?
Yeah, how does it feel to be basically Hitler?
I will say, in my view, I've not been found guilty of indirect discrimination against a woman because the whole crux of the case was that I don't acknowledge that this male person, adult human male, is a woman.
Oh, so it would appear that our would-be Führer hasn't learned her lesson. Fetch the tar and feathers.
Law changes made a decade ago made this decision possible today. So are you saying there is something wrong with the current law?
Without a doubt. Like, if any man claiming to be a woman was actually a woman, their rights would have actually existed under the Sex Discrimination Act how it was.
Yeah, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Why did the app kick Roxy Tickle out in the first place?
I, at some point, would have seen a picture of a male and gone, that's a male. That's all.
She just looked at a picture and said, that's a male, that's all. There really is no hope for this brazen troglodyte. She needs to be sent to some kind of re-education centre. What did you Australians do with all those COVID Holocaust tents that you had? You know, surely you could make some use of them now.
And here we are today.
And here we are today.
Tickle sued for direct and indirect discrimination, seeking $200,000 in damages.
That seems like a reasonable amount considering all of the money she will have lost over the last 3 years without access to roommates or being able to freelance.
The judge only favoured indirect discrimination and ordered Grover to pay Tickle $10,000 plus costs. What's this cost you?
By the end, we will have spent potentially around $1.2 million establishing that men are not women. And it just feels like decades / a century of women's rights just goes out the window. You go, okay, we've got the right to vote, fantastic. Who on earth would I vote for right now if they're not even going to say what a woman is?
Look, I've said many times on other videos, I have no idea what a woman is. You're a bloody mystery to me. But what I do like is where they got the name for this app, Giggle. Did you know Giggle is a collective noun for a group of women? Giggling. A giggle of women, like a gaggle of geese. You are like a giggling gaggle of geese, aren't you, you silly little... Oh.
Roxy Tickle says she's the victim in all of this.
I mean, he is entitled to whatever opinion he wants to have, and I think in a civilized society I am entitled to disagree with him. And sometimes I go, it's just an app. Like, there are lots of apps out there that I would not be welcome on. Like, I'm not a gay man, for example, so...
Well, you say that, but,
Would you like to try to be gay?
So gay male dating apps are not for me. That's fine.
And I'll pull you up there because you keep referencing to Roxy Tickle as he. Yet a judge has found today that Roxy Tickle is a woman.
Yeah, I mean, law is supposed to reflect reality.
And what is that supposed to mean exactly, Keir Starmer? Can we extradite this witch?
And in reality, this person is a male. So, I mean, you can make a court believe something, I suppose, but you're not going to make me believe it.
Oh, we're not going to make you believe it, are we? Wait till Keir Starmer extradites you and you're in a dungeon somewhere at MI6, you know, getting blasted with white noise. I think they use Keir Starmer's voice to make the most brazen terrorists like yourself crack, you know, just his nasal voice. What is a woman? That is a question for the You wouldn't last 5 minutes. All right? We'll make you believe what we want to make you believe.
So to be punished for acknowledging biological sex, I think puts all Australians at risk of being punished for having human instincts.
So you should be, right? It seems like you haven't learned your lesson, Australia, from COVID. You know, you're all thinking about your freedom and getting heart transplants for your babies and stuff like that. Okay? Flouting the rules. We'll get your masks back on before you can... in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
The judge has given you an option to walk away from this, you know, for 10 grand plus a cap on certain costs. Will you walk away?
It's always been my intention to appeal to the highest place that I can, which in Australia would be the High Court. Always, since day one. I've said I will go as far as I need to. I have a daughter. She's 2. I cannot send her out into the world where she has no rights. There is a next generation of little girls that we have to protect and make sure we hand them a world that the women before us gave us.
There she goes again. Always thinking about numero uno, right? My daughter's future, blah, blah, blah. What about all the, you know, what about all the little Miss Tickles of the world, right? Think about them. Not about your daughters and sons and what an absolute hellhole we're handing to them. That's for them to figure out, you know. The only thing you need to give your daughters and sons are hot cross buns. Hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny. I guess I've run out of things to say about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like to let the algorithm know, the universe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out my Patreon if you want to help out with the channel even further. We're back on normal scheduling now. There'll be lots of videos coming out in the next few days. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
I am gay. Are you gay? And if not, would you like to try to be gay? We're taking new applications and it's really fun. You get magical powers and free honey buns. Your mom is gay and so is your dad. If you're not gay, it's really too bad.